Hello everyone. On this tutorial, I'm going to explain how we can use Readtheory to grade our students' reading proficiency level in our English program. And also, we are going to talk about how we can understand the passages that they read, the number of passages that they read, so we can use them to grade their proficiency. Before going over that topic, I like to cover basically two very easy topics. The first one is the concept of Lexile framework and the Lexile framework correlation with the Zephyr. So let's begin with the first one. I'm going to read very quickly the concept of Lexile. What is a Lexile level? A popular method used by schools to measure a student's reader's ability is Lexile level or a Lexile measure. A Lexile measure is a valuable tool for teachers, parents, and students. It serves two unique functions. It is the measure of how difficult a text is, or how a student's reading ability, or a student's reading ability level. The Lexile framework was developed by Metametrics, an educational assessment and research team funded originally by the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development. So that's the concept of Lexile level. Now, the correlation that there is for to compare the Lexile and the Zephyr is the following. So a student that is in A1 is expected to have a Lexile level of 600 Lexile points, let's say, and our program ends on B2. So we expect students at level 6 to be reading reading passages, articles, and texts within the range of 1,000 to 1,250 Lexile points. And if a student reads more than that, well, that's even better, right? So later on, in the comments, in the description of this video, you can find the links where you can read more about the Lexile level and the correlation with the Zephyr. Now I'm going to go straight to Readtheory so we can see the grading system. Okay, I know that most of you, or maybe all of you, know Readtheory in one way or another. And I know that several of you teachers have and are actually using Readtheory in the current semester. So being that said, I'm going to skip some basic stuff that I don't need to explain, and I go straight to the part of uh, um, grading the passages. So first of all, I'm going to refresh this. So here you can see a class that it's named Intensive A2 Plus. This is level 3, as you well know. Before reading any of these figures and numbers, we need to set the range of the dates when this course took place or is taking place. In this case, particularly, the first day of this course was November 9th, and it finished on December 11th. This is very important to do. Why? Because you will have students who have been using Readtheory in previous levels, and they will continue using the same account. So that means that once they enroll your class, you will be able to see all the things, all the numbers that the student has gotten from the very first day he or she signed up for Readtheory. And that could be useful at some extent, but it's more useful to see only the numbers that are within the period of your course. So now that I have set the range of this course, numbers change, drastically. So instead of seeing 1,000 and something passages or quizzes, I see 562. So I know that when I was their teachers, all this group read a total of 562 quizzes. Okay. Um, as a class, when everyone took the placement test, some of them took the placement test with me because it was the first time they were using Readtheory, but some of them had taken the test months ago. Regardless of, Readtheory will show you the average Lexile points of the whole class. So when I received this class, they had 544 Lexile points. If we take a look at the correlation table, 552 is somewhere in the A2 Lexile level in correlation to the Zephyr. Uh, I think it was okay. I wasn't worried about the 500 points that they had because I was sure that in this level 3 they were going to improve. And as you can see, at, at the current stage, or by the time they finished level 3, they had improved to 712 Lexile points. So improvement was there, but this is an average. It doesn't mean that all of the students improved, not necessarily. Okay, now let's take a look at the charts that this platform shows. The first one, I'm going to explain only two, and those are the only two that we can take into account to grade the passages. Okay, so the first one is the Lexile level performance. When they take the placement test, the platform shows an orange diamond. The orange diamond represents the Lexile level they had at the moment of taking the placement test. And the green bar represents the progress or regression that they have shown, or that they had, or that they have actually in your course. I'm going to use one student's name just to exemplify a little bit. I'm going to use Bessie's. Okay, based on this information, it says to me that when she took the placement test, she was placed in a level of 200 Lexile points. And by the time she finished my course, she ended, or she finished, or she reached 502 Lexile points. So there was an improvement of almost more than 300 points. In the correlation, we can see something like, we can really like that. So she was from being an intro student, right, to be an A2 plus user. So in her case, the reading improvement was noticeable and successful. Okay, so this is how we can read the Lexile level performance chart. I think is very clear and easy to understand, especially because this is something that you can show your students so they can see how much they are making progress. The second chart that we need to know very well, and possibly is the most important, is the quizzes taken. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to use another student's name just to exemplify the meaning of the numbers. I'm going to use the name of this last name, Salinas. Okay, so when I hover Salinas' name, I have this information bar on the top where I can see the number of quizzes or passages that she has taken. So in blue, in my period from November 9 to December 11, she took 43 passages in total. Okay. Now, after that, there are three possible levels of performance in our students. So the first one is called above pre-test level. In her case, 33. So this level, which color is like aqua green, represents the number of passages in which she demonstrated an understanding and comprehension the beyond the level of the placement test. In other words, she improved or she demonstrated improvement because in 33 passages she read and she understood, and therefore she could answer correctly the questions of the passages. On the other hand, we can read that she took 7 passages in which she was placed at a pre-test level, number 7 or 7 passages. What does that mean? That means that she read 7 passages and the result that she got was equal to the pre-test level. In other words, she didn't improve, but also she didn't go down in the progress. So she was just neutral or running in circles. That is not good. And the last indicator in orange, it says below pre-test level. And it says three passages. That means that she read 3 passages and her answers were so incorrect that the score that she got was even below the pre-test level. Okay, so as you keep on moving on student's name, you can see the numbers in which the student is showing or demonstrating her or his progress. For our English program, we only want to pay attention to the passages that are above the pre-test level or the aqua green color that marks the number of passages. I think that we don't have much to do with the passages that are at pre-test level, and even less with the passages that are below the pre-test level, because those are passages in which the student read and couldn't understand much or anything. So being that said, it means that we can use the number of above pre-test level passages to grade reading proficiency in our students. Okay, so now I'm going to move on the grade chart where I'm going to show you how we can input the number of passages that they read in order to get points. Okay. All right. I'm going to zoom this in a bit. Okay. In this semester, we want to grade the work that they do on OpenMind platform and also on Readtheory. Okay. With OpenMind, we're fine because we know that we can get the percentage per unit. And that's exactly what you can do. Once you get the unit percentage per student, you can input that number just right here as it is in the example. For the first cut, just on OpenMind and Readtheory, they can accumulate 3 points. And basically, what we are doing here is we are giving 50% to OpenMind and 50% to Readtheory, right? Now, the greatest question is how many passages are we going to ask our students to read in the first cut, or let's say in the first unit? And the answer is 9. 9 passages means that they need to demonstrate that they read 3 passages per week, more or less, or maybe they can read 4 in one week and 2 in the other in the next one. But by the end, they finish unit 1 they should have read 9 passages. But what passages? The passages that are above the level. Okay? In other words, going back to read theory, for example, this student whose name is Carla, she read in my class within the period of my time of my course. She read, as you can see, 142 passages, which is okay. I mean, she was trying hard, but she only could pass 41 passages above the pre-test level. And those are the 41 passages I'm going to take into account to give her points. I am not going to pay attention to the at pre-test level nor below pre-test level. Okay, so going back to the grade chart, uh, by setting the range of dates on read theory, you can easily find out how many above the level passages a student read. If the student read 9 or more, well, he or she is fine, because that is exactly the number or the minimum number we were expecting within that period of time. On the other hand, if the student reads fewer passages above the level, let's say 5, as you can see, the student is not going to get the maximum score, but absolutely less than that. So 9 passages. And we are going to do the same with the second cut. In the second cut, we will report 2 units. So 2 units from Open Mind, Macmillan, and 18 passages above the level. 18 because we're talking about 6 weeks, right? And 6 times 3, as you will know, is 18. And again, this time, the total is 6 points, in which 3 points come from Open Mind and 3 points come from Read Theory, right? If they read passages below 18, they're not going to get 3 points. If they demonstrate you that they could only read 10 passages above the level, that's going to be 1.7. Okay? And the same goes for the last cut. In the last cut, we have the same cycle, right? 2 units for Open Mind and 18 passages for Read Theory. All right. So students can read more than that. Actually, the message is to read more. They should read more and more and more. But they have a minimum of passages above the level that they have to turn in. Okay. And this is something that you need to explain your students as soon as possible, so they understand that that regardless of the number of passages they read, when they do it, they need to be very serious and very careful, because we are not going to give them points to all passages they read, but only to the passages that are above the level. Okay, so just one more example about getting passages per cut. So let's suppose that there's a cut that started on November 9, and it ended on November 25th, for example. I click on apply, and Read Theory is going to yield only the passages that were read within that set of time. In our case, in the cut, let's say. So as you can see, the numbers change. Students, of course, you're gonna see fewer passages per students because it's a shorter period of time. And that's it. So this is how we can grade passages that they read on Read Theory. If you have any questions or comments or doubts, you can perfectly write to the Language Center. We will be happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much.